Annie and the Wild Animals. It's been snowy for days. Winter was lasting too long. Something was wrong with Annie's cat. Tiffany had stopped playing. She ate more than usual, and she slept all day long. Annie found her curled up in strange places. One morning, Annie could not find her cat anywhere. She looked and looked, but Tiffany was gone. Annie was so lonely. I need a new friend, thought Annie. She placed a corn cake at the edge of the woods. Imagine a small furry animal would come and tame him for a pet. The next morning, the corn cake was gone. In its place stood a giant moose. He's too big to tame, Annie thought. I'll have to try again. That night, Annie left another corn cake, at the edge of the woods. The next morning, the moose came back, and Snarl the wild cat was there too. It's too mean to tame, she thought. Annie placed more corn cakes at the end of the woods. The next morning, a big growly bear was there with Moose and the wild cat. He's too grumpy for a pet, she thought. Annie made many more corn cakes as she could, and them at the edge of the woods. At dawn, Annie heard the snarling and growls of wild animals. There was Moose, wild cat, and the bear. They had joined by a stage of family and large gray wolf. None of them is soft and friendly like Daphne, she thought. The next day, Annie made more corn cakes and left them at the edge of the wood. All night long, she heard the sounds of the animals eating corn cakes. Annie woke up to find a great noise stuck through her window. It belongs to the moose, who was still hungry. There were wild animals everywhere. They roared for their next meal. The little house shook. The animals wanted more corn cakes, but when Annie looked into the barrel of corn cake meal, it was empty. She couldn't make any more corn cakes. Annie was very sad. She would never find a pet now. She missed her cat very much. All the night, a warm breeze blew from the south. The snow melted and new buds would be seen on the plants and trees. The wood is coming alive again. By the next morning, the wild animals had gone back to the wood. They would find more food. Now, spring is finally come. Then, unexpected as the warm spring breeze, Daphne walked proudly into the yard. Daphne, Annie explained, you have come home. Where have you been? the cat turned and looked back the way she had come. Out of the woods came 3 soft, friendly kittens. Annie would not be lonely anymore. The end.